All right, good morning. Today we're going to continue talking about some angle pairs. As we look up here, first thing I want us to notice, when we have our two lines cut by the transversal, notice it says lines L and M are parallel. Okay, so if these two lines are parallel, one way we can indicate that, if we put these little arrowheads on, that tells us they're parallel, okay? And it also, it listed it right here, but that is the symbol for parallel. Now, these arrowheads just say it goes on forever, but when it's inside, within the line, that tells us they're parallel. Okay, so 1 and 5, if we think about it, 1 and 5, up to the left, like we learned yesterday, those are going to be corresponding angles. So maybe pause it and try to figure out these next three. 2 and 8, they're on alternate sides of the transversal. They're on the outside, so alternate exterior. I'm just going to abbreviate that. Number 3, 6 and 4, these are on the interior. They're alternate interior. The final one we have 4 and 5. Right here, 4 and 5, they're going to be on the same side. So we can either say same side interior or consecutive interior. All right. Now, as we move on, notice it asks us shade each even angle one color, then shade each odd angle another color. So for the even, I'm going to shade them blue. The odd, I'll go red. And maybe you'll notice, so let's think about the red ones here. 1 and 3, they are vertical angles, which you know are congruent, so they're the same. Meanwhile, 1 and 5, those would be corresponding. We know they are also congruent. 3 and 5, alternate interior, congruent. 5 and 7, vertical, congruent. Or 1 and 7, those are going to be alternate exterior, which are congruent. So all of those reds will be the same as each other. They're going to be congruent. Meanwhile, all the blues will also be congruent. However, if we have one of each, so for example, like 7 and 8 here, it's a linear pair. They are adjacent. They're going to be supplementary, which means add up to 180. Meanwhile, 4 and 5 correspond or consecutive interior. Those are also supplementary. 1 and 8 consecutive exterior. Those are supplementary. They'll add up to 180. So if there's one of each, it's going to be supplementary, which means add up to 180. So we look down here, and if you want to shade it in, if you're taking these notes, you can shade in the colors if that helps you. Hopefully right from the start, you see if we were given one angle, we know another angle that is 37. Angle 6, they're vertical. Okay, so angle 6 is vertical. It's also going to be 37 degrees. Meanwhile, angle 4 is alternate interior with that, so it has to be 37 degrees, or you could say it's corresponding to the original. And then 2 is also 37 because it's vertical or alternate exterior or corresponding with what we already have. Now, we're almost done because these last 4 will all be the same. If we can figure out what one is, we know what all of them are. So all we have to do is take 180. We said they're supplementary, so 180 minus that 37, we'll get 143. That will fill in for each of these angles. Now, as we move on to number 6, we look here and we see that 103 is right there. Angle 4 we know is the same, so 4 would be 103. 8 will be 103, and 6 will be 103. Meanwhile, to find the other ones, take 180 minus that 103, and we're left with 77. And we are done. All right. On to the back. We're going to solve a few of these. Once again, if you want to shade it in, you can. First thing let's do is identify what is the angle relationship. So on this one, they're on the exterior. They are alternate exterior. Hopefully you remember alternate exterior. They are going to be congruent to each other. So 4x equals 3x plus 30. We subtract the 3x, we're left with x equals 30, and we're done. On our next one, these two angles are going to be same side interior or consecutive interior. I don't care which one you put. Which we know consecutive interior angles add up to 180. So we have 4x plus 24 equals 180. And 4x will equal 156. X will equal 39. Now on your final one here, alternate interior. So if they're alternate interior, they're going to be equal to each other. Subtract the 2x, we're left with 3x minus 10 equals 50. We add the 10, 3x equals 60. Divide by 3, x will equal 20. And we are done. All right, as we look here, using the map of downtown Indianapolis, okay, so as you know where the canal is downtown, then we have Michigan and New York Street. These are parallel to one another, so I'm going to draw those in. So there's New York. There's Michigan. They're parallel. They're cut by this line, Indiana, that runs like that. Okay, it's kind of a wonky road. It runs on an angle. And hopefully you guys remember, but if not, north, east, south, west, right? Never eat slimy worms or never eat soggy waffles, whatever you learned it. Okay, so Indiana Ave intersects Michigan on the southeast side of the intersection at a degree measurement of 43 degrees. So southeast is down to the right. So down the right here, that is going to be 43 degrees. Now our job, it asks us to find what is the angle measurement of Indiana and New York on the northeast side. So northeast up to the right, that's going to be right here. I put a question mark. We know those two are going to be same side interior or consecutive interior, so they'll add up to 180. So 180 minus that 43 gives us 137 degrees, and we are done. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know. Just work on yesterday's Delta Math, finish that up, and I'll talk to you guys later.